Deep in the Nevada desert, at a top-secret Air Force base, rumors stir of something out of this world. Experimental aviation technology and alien conspiracy theories inspire our imaginations to run wild. Is this place really a government research center, or is it hiding them aliens? Well, grab your Bud Light Naruto hoodie. Let's charge the gates and find out for ourselves. They can't stop us all, right? Let's abduct Area 51.
What's up, guys? It is Crop Circles Podcast, the podcast where we talk about myths, mysteries, and the paranormal. I am your extraterrestrial representative, Ash, and I am joined by...
Your other extraterrestrial representative, Cory.
And we're starting here with episode 1, Area 51. Hey!
Ayo, yeah, we just skipped 50 episodes and brought you the only important one.
We thought we would not talk about areas 1 through 50 and just start talking about Area 51.
Nothing interesting goes on there.
We don't know that, though.
Nothing as interesting as what could be going on at Area 51.
Exactly. It's all very exciting. But before we jump into that, since this is the first episode, we just want to introduce ourselves a little bit. I think if you guys follow our Instagram, you would know a little bit more about myself and Cory and our producer, Maile, who is off mic, but still here, present with us as a ghost. Yeah, she said boo. Oh, no.
The paranormal part of this.
She's the paranormal part. Mm-hmm.
Does that make me like the myth or the mystery?
Well, I think I'm the myth, and you can be the mystery. Yeah.
I'm a pretty big open book, so.
Okay, well then you can be the myth.
But I mean, like.
You can be the myth. Do you
But
exist?
that doesn't make sense either. So I'll take the mystery. I'll take the mystery.
We'll workshop it. Yeah, we're still working.
We'll
on
edit
a lot.
that in post.
We're still working on a lot of stuff here at the Crop Circles Podcast. But yeah, we are so excited to bring you guys 13 different topics. I know you guys just listened to the Kraken episode if you were on the pilot, but this is our official first episode because that was just a test.
Yeah, we were just cracking in on that one.
Exactly. Just kind of figuring it all out. I'm sure that you can tell by the sound now that we're a little bit better now. We have worked out the kinks.
Humble beginnings, and we're going to get better from here.
Yeah, so it's been fun. But yeah, I hope you guys get to join us right now. Area 51 is kind of a mystery topic for us, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
Then next week we'll get to talk about either a paranormal or mythical story and so on.
Halloween's coming up.
And then Halloween's coming up.
Get those ghost stories out.
Yeah, we'll get to dive into the paranormal a little bit more. But definitely just wanted to thank you guys for tuning into our first episode. And we'll get to see you over all the other topics pretty soon here.
Yeah, thanks for the support. And go ahead and tell your friends and family about it. Like, send them this way. And it'll be a good time, yeah?
Yeah, tell them to follow, hit the notification bell, do all that good stuff. But yeah, we're so excited to get started on this and dissect this official first specimen, if you will.
Area 51.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, he's got to do the alien voice. But yeah, let's get into it. Are you ready?
As I'll ever be. I mean, is anyone ever ready to get abducted?
No, probably not. That's why they call it an abduction. It's kind of a surprise.
Taken from behind.
If you know that you're being abducted, that's called hanging out and going to your friends' out. Like, I don't think that it would be called an abduction.
That's consensual. This is completely not.
We did not get consent from Area 51 to talk about them, but I don't think that most people do. So, in any other situation, please ask for consent. We are not promoting...
consent in every other situation is perfectly advised.
But right now, anyways, let's just get into it. Let's get into the topic here. Area 51, I'm sure that we all have heard of it, smelt it, tasted it. No, not really. But, we all know.
I've eaten sand before.
Yeah, gotten the sand in your mouth.
It's coarse and irritating. It gets everywhere.
But yeah, Area 51 officially is known as a highly classified United States Air Force facility in Nevada. And it's kind of like in the middle of the desert. I had no idea that it was 600 square miles.
Yeah, huge.
Huge.
Well, it's somewhere in the middle there. That's just like the most information we've got. 600 square miles, and then, like the actual base itself is just in there.
Somewhere.
Best of luck finding it.
Yeah, it's like throwing a little smoky sausage into the Grand Canyon.
If I'm hungry, I'm going for it. I'll die.
So good luck finding it. I'm just kidding. But it's in there. It's 600 square miles. I'm sure, obviously, the buildings of Area 51 do not take up all 600 square miles. They are very remote, placed somewhere in the middle of that. And it is only 83 miles northwest of Las Vegas. So if the aliens were ever actually there, they're just like a stone's throw away from party capital of the country, really.
Truthfully, yeah, no, it's a good time.
Yeah. So Lil Mayo, I think, would fit right.
Lil Mayo, then
Yeah.
he's busting his brothers out of Area 51,
He said,
ready
let's
to
go. If you guys don't know who Lil Mayo is, please look him up. Lil Mayo. This is not sponsored by Lil Mayo.
It's definitely an experience for sure.
Yeah, he's a party alien, but I'm sure if anyone knows who's at Area 51 of the aliens, it would be Lil Mayo.
Oh, we'll just ask Rihanna, like, if she's got his contact or anything.
Yeah. Rihanna has partied with Lil Mayo before. He's an enigma in itself. Our own little alien party boy. Anyways, so yeah, 600 square miles. It was originally just silver mines and a bunch of cattle roaming around in the desert. You know, very yeehaw.
Nevada.
Nevada. It was giving yeehaw. So yeah, then the government came in and was like, hey, this is empty. This is cool. Kind of like me, and just took over. Presumably, there are areas 1 through 50 somewhere else in the United States, but this one was deemed Area 51. There is no like conspiracies or like rumors about where the number came from. It's just kind of it was the next in line, basically.
Yeah, they just picked the number.
Yeah, right. So they said pick one. But yeah, it has never been declared like a secret base. It's never been fully like claimed as anything besides just being a top secret government location. The CIA only publicly acknowledged the existence of the base on June 25th of 2013. So
That's insane.
Right. And allegedly when they had founded it, it was in the early 1950s. Maybe earlier. We're not, obviously, like, with the whole secrecy thing.
And that's just nuts in itself, that it took over 60 years, 6 decades, just to get it to the point where they had to publicly announce themselves, and people had already claimed its existence prior.
Right, yeah. So from, obviously, 1955 and onwards, those were official years of operation. I'm sure that there was stuff going on there before. I mean, people were working there, people was doing stuff. They were, doing the science stuff or whatever it is that they were doing. And so there were cases specifically with worker deaths and like dangerous workplace environments, definitely not up to code. Someone needed to call the BBB, the Better Business Bureau, because they needed some regulation. But because of the secrecy of the location and because of the secrecy of just anything that went on there, it was just in court disputed that it just did not exist at all.
Which I find, like, it blows my mind that they have, some people had some real actual cases that brought up against what they thought was Area 51 and, like, the government, even, like, the president. Like, I think Clinton had cases against him, and they basically were like, well, it's a matter of national security, so we're just gonna, like,
not talk about it and pretend it doesn't exist.
So best of luck with your case, you automatically lose.
Yeah, and because of, like, the working conditions, and they would also burn a lot of stuff, because in a lot of secret areas, obviously, you can't take anything off site. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just leave with documents. You can't just leave with computers. So it would burn everything. They would just, like, jet fuel in a hole, burn it, and it's like, yeah, you're burning, like, some crazy stuff in there. Like I said, computers, like, who knows?
Yeah.
Pieces of equipment, anything that could be used as evidence against projects at Area 51 was burned. And so a lot of the fumes were just getting everywhere, being a hot mess, and consequently causing a lot of health problems for the workers who were adjacent to this removal method. And people did die, unfortunately. And in court, they still denied the existence of Area 51 when the families of these deceased workers were looking for justice. It's kind of horrible. And I think that it's important to just realize that just because these places are secret doesn't just make it cool and exciting. Like, there is actual real life consequences that also people don't get closure for.
Exactly. Real lives are being affected from this place that's so secret that, like, little to nothing was known even up until, like, 2013, where they actually disclosed these documents from only specific years, I think, correct?
Yeah, so in 2013, the documents that were released were only from 1955 to 1968. So you really only got 13 years of, information, and everything after that, I mean, was very selectively released in the years after 2013. But it was, it's quite a doozy to just think about that. Like, that's
because at that point we were, like, very much in that time from, like, 55 to 68. They're very much preparing and, like, very much in the Cold War. And any news from Area 51 would be very confidential and top secret, and they probably would only say what they can without releasing anything too important.
Right, because, you don't want to mess up a war there, and that would be bad. The opposite of good, if you will.
Yeah, I don't like the opposite of good.
No. But, they were just out here. Yeah, and even when they were doing some of this Cold War stuff, the Atomic Energy Committee would use Area 51 to explode nuclear bombs, and people would actually throw some parties in Vegas just to watch them from the distance, because, if you're going to be exploding some bombs, especially the ones that they did do above ground, you're going to see some damage, Like,
yeah, that's basically why it might as well be fireworks,
Yeah, so people in Vegas were down to get some drinks, turn up, and watch the local bomb go off. So,
Watch the finally ever, was it Happily Ever After? The last one? Watch the last one. It
was the fireworks show of Vegas. Yeah, they were just there, ready. But yeah, so it's super top secret. Even to this day, it is high security surveillance, 13 miles from the gate. Like, just from the gate alone that lets you into the 600-mile radius has cameras, motion sensors, specialized mics.
They know, like, literally every little thing that goes in and out or even close to the borders of this. And if you get inside, there's no way they don't already know you're there.
Right, yeah, it's so just high, like the highest level of security. Can't even imagine, like, the amount of, like, security clearances that you'd have to have just to get through, yeah.
Wasn't it, like, we heard from an interview from someone who did end up going into Area 51, he said, like, 3-4 hours of paperwork just on his first day of work. That's what it took?
Yeah,
was it
just
Bob
to
Lazar? Insane.
Yeah.
Like 4 hours of paperwork?
Just to say that, like...
Just like, I am who I am, and you hopefully you approve me to come into this place.
Yeah, like, it's applying to be trusted with this.
And that was back then. Imagine with everything now.
Right, exactly. I can't even imagine. They know everything about you. They know how you smell. They know what you last ate, probably. Like, when you're walking by, they can just snipe you. They're like, oh, she's a Leo. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, they know.
I don't even remember the last thing I ate, though, sometimes. Sometimes
pizza.
I was just like, well, now I knew that.
We just had pizza.
But, like yesterday, I was just, like, unconsciously eating candy. And I was like, wait, what am I eating? What?
Yeah.
I bit my finger. Why am I bleeding?
Yeah, no, the FBI would know. The CIA, the PTA, they're all going to know what you did.
Not the PTA.
If you walk there, they're going to know. If you go anywhere near Area 51.
Mops.
The PTA, the...
Mothers of preschoolers, they're going to know.
Mops. They're going to know.
OSHA.
OSHA's going to know. Everyone's going to know. The ONW, the Oprah Winfrey Network, they're going to know.
Not Oprah.
Oprah's going to know. But, Area 51, like we said, is huge. And if you're going to be in there, they're going to need a lot of people to keep this thing running, right? Like, if it's that big and that remote, you're going to need food services, you're going to need custodial, and you want to know how they get in there? Because I thought this was pretty cool.
Well, wait, how do you get in? It's like, what, limo?
They party bus in. The aliens are coming back from Vegas. They pick you up on the way. You go to work.
No, it's Lil Maile.
He's
your driver for the limo, and he's just like, meep, meep. And it's just like all those videos of him, like, driving the car, and he's just, like, wiggling himself around, just, like,
he's
being on scooters.
Chauffeur for Area 51.
He's got the white gloves on and everything, and he smells of alcohol, and he's just driving you in and out.
Yes, doing donuts in the Lambo, if you will. But no, I wish the Little May was here to pick us up to go to Area 51. But currently, it is so large. Obviously they need employees coming in. In and out, I'd say pretty frequently. People do have stays there from what we can assume that they stay there for a couple weeks at a time. But people fly in. They go to McCarran Airport in Las Vegas, and you get flown in on these, like, unmarked planes and just fly directly into the heart of Area 51. And that's wild.
Yeah, they like tint the windows so you can't see anything outside, and then they like land. Is it like Southwest or something?
I don't know.
Is it Janet, right?
Well, Janet. Well, it's not Southwest because they're unmarked, but you're not out here flying United to get your little packet of peanuts.
JetBlue just taking me into Area 51.
Oh my god, let's go. You fly Frontier and you only make it to Area 50. Oh god.
It's like when I would try to get my Wakanda ticket after I saw Black Panther.
Oh my god. Everyone was...
Southwest was like tweeting on Twitter like, no, hey.
You cannot go.
Wakanda's not a real place. You can't get a plane ticket. I'm sorry.
You cannot go. Well, likewise. I'm sure that the government's like, we don't even fly planes. But, they're at McCarran Airport. They have, like, a private terminal situation. Mm-hmm. And the fleet of planes that fly to and from is called the Janet Airlines, or just Janet, which is really cool because if you've watched The Good Place, I think it's very fitting. She's like the little Siri girl of The Good Place. Yeah. And Janet, like, the name is rumored to stand for just another non-existent terminal. Think about it.
Whoa.
Janet.
Okay.
Or the boring one that's not as exciting is Joint Air Network for Employee Transportation. But I think just another non-existent terminal sounds cool. It sounds like fun. And
I like that
exciting.
one.
Yeah.
I like that one better. Yeah, screw the actual one.
I mean, they're both just rumors. They've never been confirmed or denied by anybody who works
many
there.
secrets.
So yeah, so who knows why it's called that. The planes just take people in and out. They don't only stop at McCarran Airport and Area 51. They do have multiple other stops for other secret bases and things like that. In California, they got one in Palmdale. They have the Ohio one.
Over in Dayton. Let's go.
Dayton, come on, Dayton, Ohio. I've never been there.
I don't think there's really much reason to
What
go.
goes on in Ohio?
Ohio? A lot of people will tell you nothing goes on in Ohio. A lot of cornfields. Pretty secretive, I'd say. From it makes sense. And what Ohio, Area 51? Maybe that's Area 52. Who knows?
Yeah, Dayton.
Everyone's telling you to get out because maybe there's secrets in there they don't want you to know about, or it just really sucks there. I liked my stay. I liked it.
Okay. Well, at least you know that that's a stop on the Janet Airlines. I love that. Like, could you imagine, like, you're, like, rushing, like, through the airport, get on the wrong plane, all of a sudden you're fucking just in Area 51 aliens, and you're like, oh my god, this is not Puerto Rico. What's going on?
I'm meant to be on the beach right now. This is the wrong kind of sand. It's all hard. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't even imagine. Wow. That would be insane. But I thought it was really cool that they flew into work. And it's only like, what did I say, like 80 some miles from Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So you're in the air for like 20 minutes. They really are going off with the high security situation. They just don't want people driving in and out because you could just sneak people in your own car, like you
exactly.
You never know. You never know.
Never know.
But yeah, that's kind of the fun fact that I thought was like one of my favorite things about Area 51.
Nice.
So tell me more about it, Corey.
Oh, so basically Area 51 is not really known for what it's used for. It's all speculation and all kind of like, it's all secretive. It's just Area 51 is so top secret that no one even knows. So most evidence kind of suggests that it's being used to test experimental aircrafts and like weapon systems and a lot of stealth stuff, especially to do with the Cold War way back when. But I think that's still kind of something that's going on there now. They call those black projects.
Just looking into the national security and like national security aircraft.
Yeah, essentially they're just like, if you think about it, like it's the CIA. When you think CIA, you think spies, and you think stealth aircrafts, spies. Like it seems like they're just trying to be pretty secretive about their movements and everything they're doing, and they're working really closely with the Air Force and just the U.S. government in general. So we have proof that they've used certain aircrafts to go like spy on Russia and do certain things there, fly over Korea and China, do different things around in that area of the world way back when. But we don't know if it's still used for those experimental projects now. But
yeah, because we're not technically in war times, but you never know. They're probably always just working on more, like pouring more billions of dollars into the military defense, which is also another thing about these black projects, is that it's unreal.
Yeah.
Right? Like the black budget?
The black budget. It's what they use. The U.S. government uses the black budget to fund these projects.
Yeah.
And it's not known how much money is in the black budget, but in most things you read, it's like a multi-billion-dollar black budget. Like, they can literally spend whatever they want. I think you brought up a good point earlier. Like, the government can just basically... Why do they have a black budget? They can just, like, kind of just yoink the money and use it from wherever they want and just do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, so, I don't understand, like, the concept of having a budget as a government. Like, why you could just do it. I don't know. It's hard for me to wrap my head around, I guess, is what I'm looking for. Because I'm like, what? So they just have, like, an unlimited, like, from what we have read, seemingly an unlimited amount of money to just go off on these black projects. Like, they just... spend money.
They're doing it. They're just like pumping it out and getting whatever they want.
Yeah, like anything that they wanted to do, especially with aircraft, was just approved. Like you can just like figure, like if they had a promising idea, it'd be like, figure it out, go for it. Which leads us to one of the more exciting and more notable projects that did happen at Area 51, which is Project Aquatone.
Aquatone. I don't think that's a very cool name. Do you think that's?
I think it's a cool name. I think it sounds like a hairspray maybe.
Like Desert Storm sounds like a cool name. Like
you said Project Aquatone, and it's really just like it sounds almost like like the Pantone colors, you know,
Pantone.
like it sounds like they were trying to invent a color that went with like a certain shade of blue, and they were like aquatone.
Chartreuse,
That's nice.
you know. I think Maile brought a good point up. It sounds like a toothpaste.
Yeah.
It just sounds like it was Aqua Fresh. I think is the toothpaste.
Well,
Aqua Fresh, Aquatone.
Aquatone.
It helps with like when you it sings while you brush. You know, that's the thing. Like like what's one of those toothbrushes that have the music that play?
Oh, it's Project Aquatone was just a way to get your toothbrush to sing. What were those called?
It sings the X-Files theme song.
What were those called though? Because they had like a One Direction one at one point.
Yeah.
They had like, you know, and you could just like, what do they call it? Like Tooth Tunes? Am I just making that?
I think Tooth Tunes is real. I think you're right.
I may have just made that up, but yeah, Project Aquatone was the Kickstarter for Tooth Tunes.
Way back in 1954 is when that started.
It took a long time to perfect that.
Yeah, it took a long time. Well,
that
not 60 years for them to like, hey, this is gonna be relevant. We're gonna make this a thing. And so they made the secret program, Project Aquatone, started November 26th, 1954, around the beginning of the Cold War, and it was to build an aircraft that would fly over the Soviet Union undetected. They called it the U-2 aircraft, and it was meant to fly higher and faster than any aircraft that had come before it, which they ended up, about 6 months later, at Groom Lake, a.k.a. Area 51, was selected as a test location for these aircrafts. It was just a dried up lake, and it was to be used as a runway without having any paved roads or anything. It's basically nature's way of paving a hard surface for you, and they just went ahead with it, and that's kind of where they tested these things there. So thank you, Mother Nature.
What was it? Nature's runway.
Nature's runway. They just let's suck the earth dry for you.
Yeah.
We'll make you a runway.
Yeah, so that's...
Strut your stuff, U-2 aircraft. And that's what it did. It ended up flying several different things. And when people saw quote-unquote UFO sightings, a lot of the time it's believed that it was these U-2 programs, the U-2 program, that when they were doing test flights or things around the area in Nevada. Which, to people back in the day, when they're trying to create the next thing, the future of planes, that's obviously going to look like alien to you, you know? Yeah. It's going to look kind of freakish. It's going to look new. It's going to be very unidentified. And with some of the shapes that come a little bit later, definitely the word flying saucer comes to mind.
Yeah, if you look up a photo of just like the U-2 aircraft, I'm pretty sure you can kind of put it into the perspective of 1950s and be like, oh shit, like no wonder they thought there was aliens up in there, because it looks kind of spooky. I don't know. When I see big planes up close, I'm always like kind of scared. I don't know. It's like not scared, like more like an ominous feeling. You're like, oh my god, that's so big, like just large.
But I think they definitely with the I think it was called the SR 71 Blackbird. It was several years later after this point, but that one definitely has a kind of a rounder shape to it, and so the word flying saucer definitely could cater to that model plane much more, and it's much more believable, especially because even at that time, it just seemed to get better and better, bigger and bigger and faster, and just more unusual looking, just from people who didn't know how to identify these objects that were flying through the sky. Yeah, and a lot of after the declassification of a lot of the files from Area 51, you could line up a lot of the test flight records with the UFO sightings that were happening in and around the surrounding cities, which is kind of sad because, not sad, I guess, but you're just like, damn, I thought I saw an alien, but really it was just you two. It was just the government.
Damn.
Spying on us again. Darn you, government.
Probably. Oh my god. I can't believe it.
Area 51 had become a focus for modern conspiracy theories due to its secretive nature, because they really weren't letting anything out. They were trying to be...
And for a long time, they were just stuff was just coming out of there. I don't know what they were thinking. They were like, we're just going to fly this giant flat plane out of here and just not say a thing, and people will know. People will just not question it, and it'll be fine. And what?
And if people do, we'll tell them, shut up.
It doesn't exist. Shut up. I mean, I don't know. People are gonna see it. I don't know what's.
But a lot of the stuff that they had coming out of there, people thought was tied to classified aircraft research of UFOs is pretty much the biggest conspiracy that to come out of there.
Right. There's so many conspiracies about Area 51 because, like I said, It's top secret. And when you
Yeah.
don't tell someone something, the rumors start flying.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
I mean, so many rumors.
And some of the things that they had like thought that happened there at Area 51 were like they thought the moon landing had been filmed there, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I'm a full believer that we've definitely been to the moon.
I think most people believe that we went to the moon.
But I mean, I would love to hear a good case of if you believe we haven't been, hey,
Yeah.
I haven't been to the moon. I haven't been there. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know everything about everything. So please, if you have proof to prove me wrong, I want to be a smarter person for it.
I kind of want to know what goes on through people's heads when they're like, oh yeah, we didn't land on the moon. Like, okay, so then what? Like, what is the proof, I guess? But it'd be interesting to hear.
Definitely. And it was meetings and joint undertakings with extraterrestrials apparently have happened there. In people's minds and their conspiracies that they have created, that they think aliens have come here, and that's where they kind of like touch base. Like, instead of using like Discord or something or like Google Hangouts, they show up in their suits and ties, and they like kind of like rock up to Area 51, and they like have like their business meeting, and then they
have donuts and coffee.
Yeah, they just kind of and they go like off and do their own thing afterwards,
Right, because if aliens are gonna be here, they're gonna have to meet somewhere.
Yeah, consult with people who, like, in all intents and purposes, if we don't know about them, why do they matter?
The rendezvous point.
But, like, the storage and examination and reverse engineering of crashed alien spacecrafts have been kind of a huge thing. Like I said, like UFOs crashing there. And some people even think they've manufactured this air base around a former alien spaceship that had crashed there in the Nevada desert.
It's the alien airport, if you will.
Yeah, and then they ended up bringing even apparently another UFO that had crashed over in Roswell, New Mexico. They thought they had brought it over to, I think, Texas. They took it to Texas, and then afterwards, after their statement of being like, oh, it was a UFO, we don't know what it is. About a week later, they were like, oh, we're redacting that, and then they don't know what happened to the spacecraft after that. Or it's not even spacecraft, the UFO. They don't know what happened to it afterwards. Right. And a lot of people believe it was taken to Area 51 to be studied further. Beyond that, though, the rumors of like weather control for like warfare has been kind of a myth, a rumor to come out of that. And I think that's terrifying. That is absolutely mind-boggling. And if that is even a possibility, which like the UN did at one point in the 70s, and they straight up were like, nah, like illegal. Not allowed, illegal, no one is allowed to do this, stop. But people believe because it's so top secret there that we kind of ignore that and continue on studying that there at Area 51. Along with like exotic energy weapons for the Strategic Defense Initiative, other weapons programs, time travel and teleportation technology. Which I mean, like, hey, I guess like if we're gonna throw aliens in the mix, might as well throw teleporting around. You're like, I know, I would love to just be like here in Uriyasu and just like bamf over to Maihama. Like I would hate the transportation to get back and forth from work is a headache, and it's more exhausting than the actual shift itself.
So true.
And then I was like, exotic propulsion systems related to the Aurora program. So that's like something that's apparently being developed there under conspiracy's eyes, and activities related to a shadowy one world government or the Majestic 12 organization.
Yeah, I think that the Majestic 12 is one of the biggest conspiracies. Adjacent to, like, just aliens in general, Majestic 12 is kind of like the idea that there's, like, 12 people who are, like, top scientists, politicians, and all that stuff who are working together to get, like, one government in the world, I guess. And it's, like, this whole thing, and that's a whole nother conspiracy in itself that we could do an entire episode on the Majestic 12, I think. I kind of don't want to say debunking, but a lot of the Majestic 12 mythos has been debunked officially. Yeah. But yeah, so that is also just another little part of the Area 51 conspiracy train.
But what goes on over in Las Vegas of May 1989, Ash?
Oh my gosh. So in May of 1989, things kind of take a turn. And this is where Area 51 goes from being like a local Nevada test area to like a worldwide phenomenon.
Yep.
Because a local Las Vegas TV station, KLAS, interviewed a man named Dennis. Well, we now know that that's like a code name that he used, and wanted to remain anonymous. And he claimed that he briefly worked at an outpost near Area 51. And he was taken on to allegedly, from his words, just study different engines that were from alien spacecraft. He was claiming that they created their own gravity fields, which is impossible to do with our technology. You can't create a gravity pull or anything like that from the science that we know. And there was an antimatter reactor, just things that are impossible to do with the science that we have today. And this man was revealed to be the infamous Bob Lazar. And I say infamous because Bob Lazar was one of the only credible sources to ever have come out of Area 51 with information.
Yeah, and infamy, like, definitely is the thing that follows his name, because he kind of, like, detests it now. He's, like, not really excited that, like, this is so tied to his name.
Right. And I think a lot of people really want to believe Bob Lazar because he speaks, like, very just monotone about it. He doesn't seem like a conspiracy theorist, like, in the general sense, like, in the...
Yeah, he doesn't have, like, the red lines attached to photos behind him, and he's not, like, going crazy with, like, 12 cups of coffee on his brain. You're like,
he's not claiming all this crazy stuff. He has a story that he sticks to.
Chill, and he's, like, just like, hey, this is what happened, and this is what I remember. It's, like, been a while, but, like, here, like, this is my information, like...
Yeah, so that's kind of... It's been... He's definitely very, like, collected and stuff, which makes him a little bit more, I think, reputable as a source. And he has claimed just quite a few different things about Area 51. He says that outside of these, like, reactors and engines and stuff, that in March of 89, he saw a small gray alien with a large head through the window of an unmarked door. Hello? But yeah, he apparently saw that, was pushed away by a guard, and just told to keep it moving. I don't even know how you would react to that. Like, I would be like, are you okay? Is he dead? Is he alive? You know, like, I would have so many questions.
Yeah.
He also claimed that the aliens of Area 51 were referred to as the kids, which is so unsettling. No, thank you.
Does that mean he was referred to as daddy?
Oh my god. Could you imagine? Oh no.
The kids would be like, Daddy!
He's gonna be like, do I look?
Do I look?
There
were two different memes right there.
Yeah. He's gonna, like, they're gonna walk up into, like, the hangar that he was at. He was stationed at the S4 hangar, and they're gonna walk in the door like, I threw up. And he's gonna be like,
he's like, well, I peed, so.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they were just the kids, I'm assuming that they did some wild things like that.
Dang.
Yeah.
Didn't he claim to, like, touch like a flying saucer with the U.S. flag on it?
Well, yeah, it was like the engine thing that I just mentioned. Yeah,
okay.
They stuck an American flag sticker on it, which sounds so on brand to what they would do with a government situation like that. They said, "This looks cool. You know, it would look better. American flag." Like,
it's what we did to the moon. We're like, hey, you stick in the ground with a flag on it. There we go. That's ours.
That's ours now. Cool. Thanks so much. Like, that is the tackiest thing about American culture. Y'all just adding the American flag to anything.
I said patriotic.
It's so head ass. Like, no one cares. We know what the flag looks like. It's very odd.
You're right.
Also, just because, like, in Japan too, like, I'm just not used to seeing the Japanese flags. And when you do see it, you're like, oh, that's weird. But in America, it'll be like everywhere. People attach the flag to the back of their truck, to their children, to, like, just to anything, like, to their house, to the yard, like, to the dog. Mm-hmm. Just anything. You name it, it's got an American flag on it.
I do find it very weird when I find another country's flag flying above me, though.
Right, it's strange.
I look up and I'm like, that's not my flag. That's not mine. Why is our big red dot on it?
It's just interesting just because I don't think anyone, or the countries that we have been to, don't really have, like, that flag culture that America does. It's just very strange.
Yeah, patriotism is, like, so...
rampant.
I think it's got different branches, of course. Like, there's, like, a very high, like, very left and right, like, ways of... I mean, not even just politically, but just, like, in general. It's just, like...
Right.
There's the crazy ones, and then there's, like, the not so, and then there's, like, there's the middle ground. But, yeah, at the end of the day...
It's so, yeah.
It is very prominent in our culture.
We apparently did it to a spacecraft, too, so that not even the aliens are safe from getting American flagged.
No, they'll get tattoos of, like, USA across them alien cheeks.
Yeah, I can only, like, imagine that they would, like, have branded them or something, but wild. He also talked about element 115, which did not exist on the periodic table at the time, which makes him a little bit more credible in a lot of people's eyes, is that he talked about the existence of this element. Mm-hmm. It's now known as moscovium, which sounds like something out of an Avengers movie, to be honest. Like,
well, I think
what did they use?
Sokovia. It was kind of like
Sokovia. What is Captain America's shield made out of?
Vibranium.
See, like, it's just, if you told me it was made out of Moscovium, I would have been like, yeah.
I feel like
Steve Rogers.
Well, it was found in Russia, correct? So then, like, Moscovium.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that has something to do with it. It just sounds fake.
That's Russia slapping their sticker on that word, real quick.
Right. but I mean, if I discovered something like that, you best believe I'm gonna name it like
Ashtovium.
Like
Ashtovium.
And that's gonna be the new name for it. That's so fucked up. So rude.
Cortovium.
Cortovium.
Myum.
We got Ashtovium, and when Cory finds it's going to be Cortovium, when Maile finds it's going to be Myovium.
Myum. 3 eyes.
Myum, just 3 eyes in a row. Myum. Oh my god.
Maieium.
Myum.
Hashtag Myum. Make it go trending on Twitter.
Did you? Okay. He's going to try to trend something on Twitter with all 3 of our followers, which just so happened to be all 3 of us.
All 3 of us.
So, you know, we're doing great on Twitter. But yeah, Moscovia, man. It was heavy and unstable, and it's only able to be sustained for 1 to 2 seconds at a time. So it's just one of those crazy elements. If you guys have ever taken any chemistry course, you know that there's elements that are created and they only exist within certain conditions for a couple seconds at a time before being converted into something else or just dissipating, whatever. And he claimed that these were there and right before it went on the periodic table. So that was a huge, like, pat on the back to him because they were like, oh, shoot, you're right. Like, that ended up existing and you claimed that right before it did. So people took that as a credible source of information once they heard that bit.
Yeah, the fact that he did exactly what he said it did was kind of like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, and that was the element that was supposed to be used as the spacecraft's fuel, or like the engine's fuel that he was working on, because he never had a full ship within.
Yeah, no, he just worked on propulsion.
Yeah, propulsion was like his main thing, which I mean makes sense because if you're working on something top secret, you want to keep everybody kind of as separate as possible in order to get the most information, just so no one has all the tea.
Truth.
All the information.
I'm so thirsty, I want all the tea.
Yeah, I mean, Bob Lazar's story is so interesting in itself. And he interviewed with Joe Rogan. And that was kind of what sparked it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, his podcast with Joe Rogan really made everything take a turn.
Yeah, I think so. Like, it's neat because it kind of brings it to a modern state. Like, it's him now. Speaking of this still after
so many
years of already giving however many interviews.
Right, and he doesn't make a lot of money from what we understand off of these, like, you know, kind of giving away information about this. And he, like you said, comes across as very tired and annoyed and sometimes wishes that he wouldn't have said stuff because Bob Lazar does not like there being misinformation. He's down for people to say the truth, but he's not down with anything like conspiracy-esque, I guess. Like, he does not...
He's much more than just, like, this guy who came out and been like, aliens! Because, he's trying to run a business. He's like, there's so much, like, everyone's a human in their own right, and they have more than one interest. They do other things than just, like, the one thing that may be making them notable, you know?
So, yeah, he's also turned away just a lot of book deals and movie deals and just kind of tried to stay in his own lane just because the misinformation did kind of rub him the wrong way. Especially, I mean, obviously with conspiracy theorists, they're just going to say whatever and try to attach it to your name so they seem more legitimate. Yeah. But Bob Lazar is the reason why aliens became synonymous with Area 51 because he was the first person to solidify the claim that aliens were there.
And this is true.
He just became kind of like the influencer of all UFO conspiracy theorists, really. Yeah. And, I mean, Shadows of Your Mind magazine really put a simple quote on it, and I'm just going to read it out loud because I think that it is a really good quote. It says that it infiltrated pop culture in everything from The X-Files to movies like Independence Day, and all that can be accredited to George Knapp's report. The I Want to Believe poster in The X-Files was modeled after the They Are Here poster that Bob Lazar described, all the way down to the recent X-Files series with the craft running on Element 115. That's all from Bob. All of it. Nobody came out before Bob and talked about S4, and nobody legitimate has come out since. End quote. Boom. And that really just goes to show how Bob Lazar just kind of opened the floodgates, in a sense, for aliens in Area 51 to become this, you know, kind of the same. Yeah. One and the same in the name.
What a mic drop moment. Just being like, boom. I said everything I had to say way before it all happened, and... Y'all that's believe me if you want, like you.
Yeah, he said, "Believe me if you want." That's all I gotta say.
And he's like, and like all this, like actual factual things are coming back, and he's like,
"What'd I say?
Am I wrong?
Am I right?
He's just going off from that. He's just going on his own time. So, I think we should probably take a break and
Let's
then
take a break.
go ahead and check out some bits of how this plays into pop culture today.
Yeah.
Because didn't some people try to storm Area
God.
51?
They did, but first,
Let's take a break. Yo, Bob Lazar. What a dude. What a stud. What a guy that just went out and did the most to make sure that he was... Not that he like went out and tried to be believed, but he just like... He spoke his truth and people are seeing it now.
Right. He's like he really went out and was like, can I say something controversial yet brave? And then everyone was like, oh my God, yes. And then he spilled the hot goss. Really.
I would totally agree with that. And then, hey, now people... That tea is still spilling today, I think. They're drowning in it.
Yeah, people still believe it. And he recently did the podcast with Joe Rogan. I think I mentioned it a little bit. But yeah, if you are super into podcasts and you know anything about like more like popular podcasts, Joe Rogan is the guy. I mean, he's interviewed everyone from like Elon Musk to obviously Bob Lazar and like Demi Lovato and just everyone under the sun.
Yeah, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Elmo.
Oh my God, I would love for Joe Rogan to interview Elmo, actually. That'd be
What if we
wild.
interview Elmo?
Oh, I thought you meant we interview Joe Rogan, but...
Oh, imagine
that's
that.
Probably...
That's a paradox.
Oh, God.
That's
I would not even know where to start. Horrible. No, but that podcast that Bob Lazar did with Joe Rogan, pretty popular, I'd say. Popular enough for a 21-year-old named Maddie Roberts to watch it.
And a guy who probably made a couple memes in his day, what you say?
Yeah, Maddie Roberts, internet connoisseur, I guess, self-proclaimed, if you will, listened to the Joe Rogan podcast with Bob Lazar and was like, dude, he's got a point. He's saying some really interesting stuff, and we all need to find out the truth. And Roberts was like, all right, we got to figure it out. And he was pretty, known in the Facebook group community, especially with like just what we call shit posting or like memeing. And he made a Facebook event, and the description said, we will all meet up in rural Nevada and coordinate our parties. If we know where to run, we can move faster than the bullets. Let's see them aliens. Underneath the title, Area 51, they can't stop all of us. Which I think a lot of us know now.
Yeah, no, and was it everything that came from that at that point? Like, people dressing up in the Naruto suits and just trying to run as fast as they can and, like, showing the videos of that, along with the memes that came along with just, like, let's clap them alien booty cheeks.
Yeah, oh gosh. So this Storm Area 51 event, I'm sure if you were on social media, especially like on Facebook and on Twitter, you knew about it. I mean, I did. I RSVP'd to the actual event at one point, and I was like, yeah, we should all do this, because they were just memeing it, and like I'm just talking about like the things that were said solely because they were inspired by Bob Lazar's words. A couple years after he came out with this podcast was wild. There's like that picture of like this little alien guy in like clothes and sunglasses sitting on a bed, and it's like the aliens waiting for the "we're outside" text. That sent me.
He's just sitting there holding it, he's just chilling. Oh man, I love just like the memes of like, okay, this is how it's gonna go. Front lines Karens. The Karens are gonna go and they're gonna run up and they're gonna take out the guards because they're just gonna complain them to death. And then the Kyles with their monster in hand and their van shoes, they're gonna just book it up through the rear end, and then they're gonna start jumping the fence. They're gonna take the shots while like who else was next?
The Naruto runners.
The Naruto runners. Yes, they'll storm straight past all of them and just Rasengan all of the guards, so then everyone else has a chance to go through.
Literally. So this event was like probably, pretty popular like in the Facebook groups until overnight. Over 2 million people responded that they were going, and another 1.5 million people said that they were interested in the event. So this thing just like blew up. Like it started off as like fun, like, if you're on Facebook and you're a part of Facebook groups, like those little I'm in a few groups, like you just meme in there and like just share stuff based on common interest. Yeah. But this just like took a life of its own, man. Like it just went off. And it just, so many people were on it. I mean, including myself at the time. I don't know if you guys
were. I saw stuff on TikTok of it going on, and I remember it personally. So I remember that happening, and some like commercials like promoting like weird things that were like almost alongside with it.
It was like the event took like its own life.
Yeah, it really did.
So this is all in September of 2019, I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. The actual event was supposed to take place on September 20th, and the event was created the month previous. Oh, was it July? Oh my God, it was July. What is
crazy.
What order are the months in? July, August, September. Okay.
So 2 months prior.
2 months. I don't know how to count or tell months.
Don't tell
Anyways.
months.
Shut up. So basically, we had a couple months in between. But this thing just went off. And then, I don't know what happened, but 3 real-life events ended up going down. Mm-hmm. 3. We got Alien Stock, we got the base camp experience, and we have the Area 51 celebration.
Boom.
So those are 3 different things that happened in real life because people just wanted to meme on the internet.
Yep.
So it went viral, and Matty Roberts, the guy who created the event, just decided to team up with some business owners of the Alien, because there's a little alien hotel on the extraterrestrial highway leading up to Area 51 in this little tiny town called Rachel. Not a lot of people live there. It's 50 permanent residents around?
Yeah, they straight up, when they heard these events were happening, called a state of emergency. They were like, no, God, no, please.
They were like, people cannot come here.
I think them and the county over was like, nope, we can't handle that amount of people. 2 million? Hell no.
Right, people were scared, real life scared, that they were just gonna be taken over by Naruto runners and general just incel community stuff. So the community there was very scared, but Matty Roberts did try to team up with the little alien and try to create a last minute music festival, very a la Fire Island situation, no planning, but he was down, he was ready, and due to various, blocks in the road, and they also got a cease and desist from Alien Stock, the brand. Matty Roberts ended up backing out of the event, but the little alien went forward with the Alien Stock event and still made this DIY kind of tailgating camp out situation, complete with a stage that they had built 2 days before.
Yeah, it was real rough, and people were it was kind of cute to see all of them be sharing a box of Raisin Bran and just kind of chilling, and all these kind of I don't know. I feel they're weirdos that I would get along with because I'm a weirdo too. I feel I would vibe really well with them, but also just be I'll have my own box of Raisin Bran right now. I'm good.
Yeah. So there was a few people that showed up there, and it was the one that was the closest to the Area 51 actual location. And they were doing the Naruto run thing at 3 a.m. like they had described in the Facebook event. That was a joke that they would try to storm the base at 3 a.m., which they attempted to do there. There are YouTube videos in case you want to look them up.
Yes.
And they were just literally out there in the cold desert, hanging out, sharing Raisin Bran. I almost said Alien Brand.
Alien Brand. The new alien cereal coming toward you.
Alien Brand.
With alien-shaped marshmallows and bran flakes. Gotta love your bran flakes. What a nice cereal box.
Oh my God, how did this turn into... You sound like the guy, the old man's fish from SpongeBob.
That's exactly what that was.
Oh my God, yes.
He's I saw you on TV last night. See you later, bran flakes. Yeah. What a nice cereal box.
Yeah. Because he thought it was the bran flake. Oh my God, I'm so glad I got that reference. Wow. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's basically what happened. But yeah, and another roadblock that occurred to Matty Roberts was that he was actually visited by the FBI at his own house in California because the FBI just wanted to make sure that he wasn't actually gonna take down the base. I don't know if that was a threat that the FBI took seriously. And so he was visited, ended up backing out of that Alien event, which ended up still happening, just to recap. And then he officially backed this bigger event that you will tell me more about, Corey.
Absolutely. Also, I didn't even realize he got approached by the FBI.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
So did I.
He was just chilling in the house.
I tell you, I got visited by the FBI.
No way.
They came knocking on my door one time, looking for me.
When?
I was 16?
Oh my God.
And they thought I was part of It was this big scandal of a teacher sexually molesting students and stuff, and so they thought that I was part of that, and so they rocked up to my door he's a teacher in Columbus, and I had only known him through a summer camp kind of thing, and they we have to go to everyone's door that we think that might have a thing. He's texted you in the most recent months, so we need to know what's going on. And so they good cop, bad cop me, and my parents were there, and I was little skinny me shaking in my bones like a little chihuahua, like scared and everything. The guy was really nice. The girl was really mean. It was a whole thing. But
That's wild. I didn't know.
I can go on that thing on a whole nother time. But the big celebration for Area 51 was it was really, really cool. It's the most widely attended and the most organized of the 3 events. And Bud Light actually like jokingly tweeted like free Bud Light to any alien that makes it out, like for like if anybody was able to like escape Area 51 for like the raid and everything. But they actually ended up creating this like limited edition beer to kind of go along with this kind of meme and event that had like a little alien on the front of it.
You try to get one.
Yeah, we did. We looked for it, but all of the cans are empty. All the boxes are empty, and they're like all on eBay. And I kind of would want to be like having a picture of drinking one without there being like a hole in the bottom and me actually having like to open it up and like ruin the rest of the look. So they look really cool. I googled them and I thought they were kind of fun, but I mean, Bud Light's not my drink of choice, but neither is this green goo that I'm drinking now. So
Oh yeah, he's got a drink that's literally radioactive green. I don't even know how he made that.
Yeah, no, so this is like drink. Vodka, gin, tequila.
It's like a
it's like a Long Island
like
in
an
a
AMF.
way. Yeah,
but instead of blue, it's green.
Yeah, and then it's rum with Midori apple liquor, and there's got orange juice. There you go.
Oh my god!
It doesn't taste bad. It's just so strong. It's
Well, you just named half the alcohols that exist on this earth and was like, oh god, it's strong.
I put it in this big old jar that's bigger than my head.
It's pretty big. We'll take a picture and post it on the Instagram.
I'll take a selfie right now.
We're doing a live selfie. If you see it on Instagram and you're listening to this, just know that you were here for it. You're in the picture, kind of, not really. Because we're in the past.
There we go. We are now in the past. Anyways. Time is crazy. But then, it was 51,000 tweets.
Retweets, of the tweet.
Retweets of the photo. Yeah. It said if they would release the alien-themed cans, if they did that. And they did. And it was cool. They released the cans anyway over in California, Nevada, and Arizona on September 13th, a week before the raid. But like subsequently contacted the downtown Las Vegas Event Center, and Collective Zoo hosted the Area 51 celebration music festival that was over in Vegas, and they had a whole bunch of like rides and music and like actual like official stages, and it was like a whole bunch of like t-shirts and beer was sold there. I even saw like swimming pools and stuff there. It was kind of crazy. It looked like a really fun event.
Free admission event, which was nice.
Yeah, free admission,
nice
like
to celebrate the aliens for free.
Pretty great, but I heard a beer was like $7, so they made their money back if anybody bought those limited edition beers. And apparently Maddie who made the meme, he was meant to make a 2-hour appearance, so he'd like do signatures and photos and stuff.
Yeah, he did. He signed stuff.
Yeah. So that was the whole thing there in that end of things, and it was pretty cool. It was actually the real life like biggest event that they had regarding the Area 51 celebrations. Yeah,
and the third and final event of these was the base camp event. This was supposed to be just, of the 3 events, the most quote-unquote educational, according to the UFOologist community. Mm-hmm. But, the Area 51 base camp experience was just kind of located at one of the research centers that's near Area 51. And it was severely underattended. Like, I'm talking they had to cancel it because not enough people showed up. But one of the cool things about that event that also went down this weekend, or the weekend of September 20th, it had like custom food too. I feel like everyone was just getting in on the theming of it all. And Arby's was there with a custom menu. They had like an ET sandwich, which was basically just like a buffalo chicken sandwich. Like
what?
It just they just had like they had foods. They had like a milkshake too that was just like blue, red, and white or something.
Oh, why replace the orange-sickle, man? The orange-sickle cream
they got that at Arby's?
Yeah, they had the orange-sickle like milkshake.
I have never been to an Arby's in my life.
Curly fries and
I have never eaten at an Arby's.
Was it where's the? Oh yeah. Oh, Arby's is good.
Arby's sounds like it's gonna be horse meat. Honestly, I don't know. I don't trust it. I don't know anyone who in real life has actually had an Arby's except for you.
Even if it is horse meat.
It tastes good though.
It'd be bussin'. It's bussin'.
Oh no. Oh god. So yeah, I've never been to an Arby's. They also don't really exist out in California as much, so like maybe that's why. But yeah, they had their own custom menu, so that's cool. That's exciting. That's legit. And they did end up canceling. It was supposed to be like a 3-day event, and they only ended up making it 1 day just because everyone was way too busy either storming Area 51 or at the Las Vegas proper Area 51 celebration. So it was not very exciting things going on there. But I just can't, like, just thinking about the impact that one Facebook event had, just sparked by watching and listening to, like, the Joe Rogan podcast is just unreal to me. Like, it is just ingrained into, like, public knowledge now that, like, we're just going to storm Area 51.
Yeah. And it's just like, who's going to stop us?
Yeah. I mean, they're going just Naruto running faster than the bullets and just the memes. Like, we're going to have to add some memes to the Instagram because
we'll post
some of them to this day still make me crack
up. The Buzz
up.
Lightyear one, though.
Yes. I can't find it.
I think you mean Space Ranger.
Yeah. It's just, it's
like when
so
the guards
good.
stop you at the gate, I think.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's just terrible. But, I mean, love it. 10 out of 10. Meme worthy. And it's just so interesting that, like, a story that happened in the 80s is still making these massive waves up until 2019. I mean, like, come on. Like, people are still being influenced by Lazar and his story till recent times. That's really cool. But in other news, kind of adjacent to the Storm Area 51 event, Lil Nas. We all love Lil Nas in this room, I think.
Lil
right?
Nas. I mean, I love the video I got to see, so yeah, absolutely.
Lil Nas is incredible, an icon of our time. He released a music video for the remix of his hit song Old Town Road that heavily referenced the event. I mean, it was basically like his rendition of what would happen at Storm Area 51, featuring like him and like Billy Ray and the yodeling kid, and they
so good.
In animation form stormed Area 51 for themselves. The aliens showed them their cool tech. Yeah, it was wild.
It was funny. It was good.
It was a wild video.
It had like kind of I think like you said, the Adult Swim kind of vibe.
Yeah, very that.
Very, very cool.
It was, y'all should watch if you haven't seen it already. Just adding to the crazy mythos. But yeah, oh my gosh. Just storming Area 51, like I said, still blows my mind. I still have trouble processing
how would you even do that? Especially knowing the facts now, like...
Yeah.
It's so big! And how are you going to find that? Once you get in, say you get in, how are you going to find it?
Right, they're going to be walking they're going to explore all 600 square miles of this place until they find an alien.
There ain't no way you have that much granola to feed yourself until you get there. And even when you get there, the aliens are going to require some of that granola. And they're going to be like, okay... Pass it on, man. You got no Nature Valley bars for us? Nothing? No,
we're not going.
They every last crumb fell into the sand along the way here, right? Okay. Well,
why would the aliens want to leave if they have like everything that they need in there? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Why would they want to come with you?
Like a Starbucks or like a 7-Eleven, you know? And just like imagine being that worker. It's the top secret 7-Eleven worker inside of Area 51 being like, I can't talk about my job. My mom don't know what I do. I don't do nothing. I just
sell chips.
I sell chips and then the knockoff Lawson chicken nugs that are either lemon red flavored or the Sailor Moon bacon cheese ones.
Oh my god. They actually, well, I think that would be kind of funny if they had like a Japanese 7-Eleven in Area 51. I feel like the aliens would like that better.
That'd be so good.
Because if y'all have not been to 7-Eleven in Japan, I mean, everything that Cory said probably just went right over your head, but Japanese 7-Eleven is the pinnacle of human existence.
The pizza buns.
You can get everything done at a 7-Eleven. We had a transaction of almost $1,000 US at a 7-Eleven just buying our Universal tickets.
Yeah.
You can pay bills. You can just use the ATM. You can get coffee. You can get food.
You can send packages from 7-Eleven.
You can send packages. You can print. Like, anyways, 7-Eleven.
Print. You can print?
Yes. Print. And also fax.
No.
Yeah. Fun facts. You can fax.
No way.
Anyways, but yeah, it would be really cool if they had a Japanese 7-Eleven at Area 51. I think people would like it.
Yeah.
But anyways, in terms of other pop culture, I mean, Area 51 has just kind of been mentioned, like we said, everywhere as far as aliens go. And even Independence Day, obviously.
Boom. Will Smith.
Yeah, the president, played by Bill Pullman, is told for the first time that Area 51 is a real thing. And he actually goes there and discovers it's being run by a scientist. Oh my god, who ultimately gets used by an alien like a puppet, which, like, gotta mention puppets. Man. I had to go there.
Not a puppet.
Yeah, so I mean, Independence Day is one of the biggest direct Area 51 references. Even in Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, they make a couple references to Hangar 51, the place where they had, like, the Ark of the Covenant. And, yeah, and it allegedly had, like, all these other government secrets. And then at the end of the movie, they just kind of were like, ooh, so spooky. This is where everything is done. And it was just kind of how do you explain it? Like, it's just a subtle reference of Area 51. Because they didn't outright say, like, oh, it's Area 51 or it's aliens, but they were alluding to a lot of it, you know, towards the end of the film. You kind of get that that's what they're going for there. And then obviously in The Simpsons comes up a lot in pop culture references. Like, they have done everything under the sun. They predict the future. They talk about the past. I mean, what haven't they done? But in The Simpsons, while attempting to go to a museum exhibit of the Orb of Isis, Lisa gets on the wrong bus, gets lost, and winds up outside of this heavily guarded place that she thinks is Area 51, only to be told by the guard that it's Area 51A. And then...
Lisa.
So, I mean, come on. And the map at the location reads, "You are here. We are not." So, like...
So not the "they are here's."
Yeah. It's not funny. Like the "they are here," like the famous, little poster thing. No, they just...
You are here, we are not. Yeah. That's funny.
Just taking the piss out of it, which I think, it was a smart one. In Lilo and Stitch 2, they reveal that the aliens refer to Earth as Area 51, which I think is hilarious because they're like, awesome. They're weird. That whole planet, Area 51. Yeah, weirdo shit happens down there.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, just crazy. Oh my god. But yeah, just so many different little references here and there.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's really cool references in, like, the Sims games. Mm-hmm. There's, like, the alien is like a life state in the Sims. Sims can also be, like, abducted by aliens, which is kind of cool. That's so they've got, like, 51 A Road to Nowhere. Like, the residential lot home to General Buzz Grunt, located in Strangetown. Similarly to, like, Area 51, it is located in a desert and like related to aliens. So, like, that's kind of cool that they even, like, have that referenced into a game that, like, doesn't necessarily have to. It's just a life simulator game, and like, aliens haven't been confirmed. But you know what's fun? Like, it would be fun about life if aliens were confirmed, and they like straight up like introduced them.
I love how Sims is like, what if you died by baking cookies? But also, what if you got abducted by aliens? But also, what if you got in a pool and the ladder disappeared? Can't get out. Like, just this, like, the most out-of-pocket stuff happens on Sims, and I love watching people play it, like, just on, like, stream, because it's so funny. I mean, Trixie Mattel plays it.
Really?
So with, like, she'll, like, make other drag queens and, like, other people.
Oh, funny.
And it just is so funny. It's so funny.
I love watching Markiplier has played it, and he's, like, made his old college roommates, Bob and Wade, and they've, like, sat there and he's revisited it, and, I think this last year he revisited it, and it was, like, old, like, when they were in college, like, when he last looked at it, and there he's like, oh, yeah, this is the house I made, whoa, like, this was, like, the motivation, like, it brought a lot of memories back, and I think, like, you kind of can go to your... Not like your happy place, but just, like, where you were, like, that same mind state that you were in when you were making that house. So I think that's pretty cool.
It's really, I love Sims. I'm a self-proclaimed Sims addict. If I do play it, say goodbye to me for at least a week, because it's, like, one of those things that you pick up for, like, 72 hours straight and then you put it down for a year.
Well, I mean, speaking with the Sims anyway, there's the Division 47.
Yeah, the other one.
There's a neighborhood with an army theme that features a crashed UFO at the entrance. If a player visits Division 47 before finishing Dead Tree, I guess that's like a quest or like a level that you have to complete before going there, they will not be allowed to enter because the road will be blocked. And the Sims with science or army careers working at the neighborhood will, and you may even find like dudes in black in the laboratory.
That's funny. They have, like, the science and army Sims in there.
Yeah, like, like those are the only ones that are, like, allowed to, like, go in and work. Yeah. So that's kind of neat. It's like there's an Area 51 rather than, like, Division 47, which is kind of clever. There's also a movie. We probably all know this. There's, like, I think there's been a TV show based off of it. And is there a sequel of this as well? There's got to be.
There's always
like
sequels.
A Monster vs. Aliens sequel. Mm-hmm. But there's Monsters vs. Aliens, and you all know, like, the iconic scene of the president, like, going doo 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 doo, like doing the whole little thing there. Area 50 something is introduced into the movie and is the main setting of the whole series, which I find is kind of interesting because it's such a vague title for, like, the main setting for the entire film. which is really neat. It's actually originally built as a monster prison to keep all of them a secret. So you have like what's it, Bob the Blob, and
Voiced by Seth Rogen.
why is Seth Rogen like always an alien? He's in Paul. Like, he escapes from Area 51. Like there's so many different things. Come on, Seth. He's about to be Donkey Kong. You know that?
Oh my god, right.
In the new Mario movie.
The only thing I care about the Mario movie is about Jack Black. Everyone else can go die.
Keegan-Michael Key is Toad. Keegan-Michael
Oh my
Key.
god, who cares?
That's so funny.
I just don't think that they casted the Mario movie. I feel like I saw this tweet that was like the creators of this movie literally Googled actors and picked like the first 10 people to come up. Because the casting, like, to me, just does not make any sense.
I don't feel like Charlie Day would have popped up immediately for them, though.
They would have been
but
like,
Charlie Day for Luigi's
good
so funny.
actors. And, like, no other context. Just type that into Google, and that's what they got.
That's so good. And the fact that they're even, like, referencing Cranky Kong is hilarious. But anyway, yes, we do have Seth Rogen in this film. And they have several different monsters and aliens of all the like the 50-foot woman. They have Bob the Blob and many more. Mm-hmm. And they apparently spend a lot of their time around Area 50 something. And that's just kind of funny just because we know exactly what they're talking about without them actually saying it.
It's very tongue-in-cheek, I think, when they mention it in pop culture, because I think they don't want to get got by the government, but they're just like, we're gonna allude to it. Yeah.
Like in the most obvious of ways.
Right. I feel like that it's very avoidant in a lot of ways. Like people don't want to say that it's Area 51, but we're saying that it's Area 51. Yeah. Oh my god.
I think another example of that is Planet 51, the film with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Of course. That's another. I'm surprised Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is not in the Mario movie.
Who would he be?
Toad.
You had no pause.
I was ready.
You had that like on luck. I mean, if you think about it,
my fan cast would be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. If you look at him and Keegan-Michael Key next to each other, he's just a buff Keegan-Michael Key. Could he just be? Could he just be buff Toad?
Except for Dwayne.
You have like "Hi Mario," Keegan-Michael Key, and then you have "Hi Mario." It's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson going for it.
Yeah. I don't know. Just saying, just throwing my 2 cents in case they want to change the casting. It's never too late. But
yeah, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in this film, it's 2009. 2009. Yeah, 2009. I'm not even used to saying 2009 anymore. It's a 2009 film with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson voicing the lead as Captain Charles Chuck Baker. What a name. He basically lands on Planet 51, and he thinks that he is the first life form to set foot there.
Oh no.
And basically, there's these little green people that inhabit the whole planet, and it's like an idyllic version of very 50s idyllic version of America in a way, complete with a universal fear of alien invasion. Yeah. And he's the basically the alien. Yeah. Whereas like it makes complete sense. He's a human, but he's not from that planet.
That is, yeah.
And so that's a pretty funny twist on alien culture. I think, making us the invaders rather than being the invaded. Because that's a lot of what we see in films. I mean, there's so many other films out there. So if you guys know your favorite movie that references Area 51, please send that to us via Twitter. Tag us in, tweet at us. Tweet at us. Come on,
comment,
do it. I dare you.
Do all that stuff.
You won't.
But oh my god, I think it's just funny. I think Planet 51 because, like you said, it was like the 50s theme, so it really harkens back to like how in real life America 50s and 60s people were just UFO crazy, and like we could even just get into a whole podcast topic on UFO sightings in that time because it was just madness. Also because I think people don't see like, I don't know how to explain it. We don't confuse a lot of things with UFOs anymore because we have CGI. We have had so many different things in our world today that I feel like we're like, oh, that's probably just a plane. You know, like we're kind of just like, oh, whatever, it's fine. Oh, it's probably just like a promotional stunt. As there's like aliens coming down to this earth, I feel like people would be like, oh wow, it's probably just promotion. Like it's probably just like, you know, I feel like we have a bit more common sense. Like, we just have more understanding of what the government and what technology is capable of, which when back then, like, we were still, like, planes were rather a newfangled concept.
I mean, it was within, like, if we were talking, like, we were in the 50s, it had been, like, recently developed into being like so quickly developed in the past 50 years because of World War I and II.
Right.
Because they were basically like, okay, well, aircrafts need to be like battle ready at all times. So then they were like bigger, faster, bigger, faster, bigger, faster. And then we like World War II ended and we're like, okay, we have to keep going because, Russia. And so we kept going and made it to the moon.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly how that happened. No, but yeah. I just think that in consciousness people are there's more things that it could be, and we all have Google at at our fingertips at all times, and I feel like
the realm of possibility is bigger now.
Yeah. So that is just interesting to me to note about like just the time period and stuff, and especially why we have less UFO sightings today than in the past. But I mean, it all kind of comes down to Area 51 and what Bob Lazar said. Do you think that there's alien activity at Area 51?
Bob, you bring up a good point, my guy. I don't know, and I don't think anyone is gonna know anytime soon as what's going on there at Area 51. I think the government's like official statement of secret aircraft or like our speculation of what's going on there, like kind of like without aliens involved is pretty logical. It makes sense on why they'd be so secretive. However, like I wouldn't be surprised, but I'd be definitely surprised to see what aliens look like, because I think our general perception of what an alien would be is kind of like bipedal, maybe green, maybe gray, big black eyes, bald, no hair, bald.
You see the
bald.
alien? The first thing I'm gonna say if I ever see an alien, I'm gonna be like, "Hi, bald."
It's a tough hairdo, okay? He's not bald. He's a tough hairdo. I misspoke. I'm sorry. But no, I think that's kind of like our general perception of what an alien looks like. Just basically Cletus,
Yeah. I mean, y'all don't know Cletus.
No,
you gotta know Cletus.
Go to Twitter. I just posted a photo of him.
Yeah. He is our resident alien that we have captured from somewhere, not Area 51. But yeah, I don't know. I think alien activity at Area 51. I don't know if I believe it or not. I think it's difficult just because Bob Lazar is literally the only source of the information that we have on it. Like, how can I trust that one person? But also, I want to believe it because it seems exciting and cool. And also, I want to know that if there are aliens, that they do like to hang out at a certain place. Even if it's not with me, it's fine.
Yeah, maybe Area 51 is just like a bar. Alien bar.
Yeah, the space bar. Get it?
It's
a fun joke.
I'm mad that I didn't come out with that first. You did it. You win. You win the golden trophy. You're the medal of the funny guy. You're the funny
you so
one
much.
Today.
I do what I can for the people.
There you go.
But yeah, I don't know. I want to believe it, and I think I'm just gonna say I think that there has been alien activity or like alien crafts there, just because I want to support Bob Lazar, and not because I actually believe it or anything. But I mean, we'll never know.
We'll never know.
I think it's just going to be a mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you guys think that there's alien activity at Area 51.
Yeah, tell us what you guys think, because we'd be definitely interested to know. And especially if we got any of this information wrong, let us know too. Because if we were wrong, let us know, because we want to learn more and we want to be on our stuff.
Yeah, we also just like we fall into holes when we do research for these.
Yeah.
So sometimes it just gets a little convoluted, but we're trying to compile like 5 million sources and like get it down to like this podcast. But we're having fun. We're having
a good time. Just being like aliens,
Aliens, yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. Guess we'll find out, or we won't. We probably won't.
We'll be
as is the way with government conspiracies.
We'll be looking at the news. We'll be waiting and watching.
Exactly. So, from stealth planes to The Sims, Area 51 has become a household name through its unsolved mysteries. And like I said, we'll probably never discover the truth about what goes on behind the gates, and speculations will continue to influence pop culture for years to come. And who knows, maybe one day we will get to see them aliens. Over and out, Crop Circles Pod.
Bye. Crop circles, crop circles, crop circles, crop circles.